you know what, I see this character and I see that he means well, he has a good heart, and I just really wanted to portray that.
This is great. Honestly, I'm excited to chat with you all today. Thank you so much for the time. This is just wonderful.
Thank you. It was so nice to be here with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's I appreciate it. It is I'm speaking with director and producer Rex Glensy, writer and executive producer Asad Moghal, and lead actor Jake Watkins. The team behind Kevin's series of unfortunate events, which is just hilarious. I mean, this is deliciously dark. Let's put it that way at times, and wild and so funny. Where did it come from?
So it's kind of a two-factor thing. So my dark sense of humor comes from two places. One, a child watching South Park when I probably shouldn't have been. Two, my mum having an incredibly dark sense of humor as well, and me deriving from that. But also, the script itself came from my own experiences. So basically, the dates that you see as part of the script, I have been through those dates in some form or the other. So I could either cry about them or find the humor in them, and I chose the latter in this case.
I am instantly saddened and by this because
Yeah.
that's wild. Like, this is from your experiences, these journeys here.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely heightened versions. But
Sure.
for example, the guy running out of electricity in his house and then locking you in the home, that happened to me. But I didn't have the kind of roundabout to kind of leave. I just stayed. So that was a mistake. Luckily, I mean, I survived, so that's a plus. But yeah, in some form or the other, this all did happen to me.
Well, I'm thankful. Now I'm even more thankful that we're talking today as well.
Yeah.
Jake, when you get a script like this for Kevin, what makes you want to jump at it? What is it about Kevin that you love so much?
What I loved so much about Kevin is I think just so much that I related to him quite a lot in terms of how he navigates life. And I thought, you know what, I see this character and I see that he means well, he has a good heart, and I just really wanted to portray that. And I felt very protective over Kevin. I was like, I want him to be likable. I want people to root for him. I don't want him to end up being this unlikable character who is just getting himself into all these situations and you just go, oh, why, you're doing this to yourself. I wanted him to be this character that people saw themselves in, because we're all human and we're all messy. We've all got our issues. And yeah, I just really wanted to portray that, and I wanted him to be liked. And also, it's just really, really funny and really fun to play as well on the flip side. So,
well, it is fun to watch him, and I think the reason the show works so well is because how pure of heart Kevin is. Like, in every situation, he's stepping into it earnestly. Like, every single one of these unfortunate events, he walks into it and he's hoping for the best. So we can't help but hope for the best with him, I guess, if that makes any sense at all.
yeah.
No, I think so. And I think Jake brings that kind of aspect to it as well in the way that he kind of plays it. I always say, as a writer, you kind of have to just be happy with the script, because whatever you see on the screen is never going to be 100% what you envisioned it. And I mean this with the greatest respect. Jake wasn't how I initially envisioned the character of Kevin, but actually, it's so much better. It was so much better than what I could have envisioned. Like, the heart, that kind of naivety, that kind of optimistic sense. I'm dead inside. I don't have any of that. But Jake brings that to the fore in the way they plays the character. So yeah, that completely comes from him.
By the way, I'm a witness to Assad when he says he's dead inside. He's accurate. at that. I mean, for me, being delivered these amazing scripts by Asad. Obviously, Kevin series Fortunate Events is only one episode. There are 7 other episodes. And when Asad delivers this, it really makes my job very easy. It was such a beautiful script. The only thing that I felt I needed to add was I wanted to add the heart. Assad is very unsentimental. I am much more sentimental than he is, and I felt what Jake said was spot on, which is I don't want the audience to think he is a character making mistake after mistake after mistake, which then makes you lose sympathy because you're thinking, why are you doing this to yourself? You know, it's the hope. It's the eternal hope that it's the Scarlett O'Hara. Tomorrow's another day. It's this. Her city has burned down. Her friends have died. Her lover is walking off, and yet tomorrow's another day. So it's that humanity that Jake was talking about that makes you root for the character, and actually I'll go even further. It makes you become the character. Obviously, not all of one of us will have had those kind of dates, but we've all been, if you're particularly part of the LGBTQ community, we've all been in situations where, I've been on dates thinking, am I going to survive this? And that's not comedy. And so, as Asad said, we wanted to bring the comedy aspect out of this and self-deprecation. Look, the non-comedic aspects of this kind of stories have been told, unfortunately. And we just felt let's look at the ones who do survive. Let's look to see what happens to them after the date and the next date and the next date. And I just thought Jake's performance was exceptional in bringing that out.
Absolutely. Like I said, you sort of fall in love with Kevin, and like I said, I've only seen the first episode, but you did it in one episode. This is you very quickly, are walking alongside this character and want them to succeed, that want them to find something. Rex, I wanted to ask you this about the look of the film, or look of the series, I should say, because as I'm, as a viewer, I'm watching it, and there's a very strong dichotomy between dark and light. It feels like, and the dates are dark. And
Yes.
I was wondering if this was intentional on your part, or if that's sort of just how each scene sort of unraveled.
No, that was absolutely intentional, and thanks for the question, the excellent question. We wanted to contrast the nurse's room, the safety of the school, with the lack of safety of what Kevin was doing to himself on the various dates. Obviously, some are safer than others. The restaurant one, it's not that anything particularly upsetting could have happened then. Of course, it does happen.
It was very upsetting, actually, to Kevin, so please don't undermine that.
It's a different type of upset.
Yes.
It's a very different type. It is. That was one I was actually mad about. But it's...
Yes. No, what you say is correct, and we wanted it to be a progression. If you've noticed, at least from what I think, the heightened lack of safety is the very first date, and the dates progress to be not as Kevin is not in as much jeopardy as we go along. So there was the sequence that Asad came up with was not a random sequence. It was definitely intended dark to light, if you like, always interjected with that sense of family and community and belonging that Vera gives to him, and that Dave, played by the absolutely wonderful Ryan Sampson, gives to him. So no, that was completely intentional, and the gaffer, the lighting head, and I had long discussions about how each particular location needed to reflect this as we moved forward in the. I call it a mini film. It's an episode, but it's sort of like a mini film, and it's half an hour in length. It's not short. So it gave us the ability to have that development.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, safety, like you said, safety is a key element. I love that you talk about that the office as being this safe place.
Mm.
I have to ask though, where did the online safety salamander come from? Assad, do you need to tell another story here, or is this just
Yeah, I don't know what this says about my psychology really at all, to be honest at all. So there's two elements. So there's a tangible element that I'm sure we've all experienced in our schools, those acting troops that would come in and be like, kids, don't do drugs, etc. That kind of aspect came forth from there. But then there's also I have absolutely no idea where it came from element of it. Like maybe this salamander exists in my nightmares and critiques how my day went and it's like, this is where you've gone wrong. I literally just woke up one day and the words online safety salamander came to my mouth. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense as a concept. And that just appeared into the page. And I mean, Jake, you just made it something that seemed real. I mean, I still
It was real.
costume. That's how much I love that.
you owned that online salamander outfit? Watching the kids bully you is quite funny, actually.
Thank you so much. Kevin
What
did
choices
deserve that bully at that point. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
No, I said I just absolutely loved that whole costume, whole bit was just so fun. There's a video on my Instagram of me in it because obviously no one knew what I was filming at the time, and I obviously didn't say anything. But like I was like in this costume, and it has a padded bum. It has like it gives you cakes. So honestly, 10 out of 10 for the costume on that one. I actually wanted it, but Asad took it home.
I should get mine now.
That's just a whole other thing right there. It's just to find it.
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, it's so funny. It's so funny. I would love to know from you all though. There's a conversation around here about the universe. You're listening to, Kevin is listing the universe, and the universe must have connected. I think connected you with somebody. I forget who it is for a reason.
It's with the. Actually, I won't spoil it.
Oh no! Is it
no spoilers?
The photo one? Is it the one?
It
where
is the last day. It's the last.
Oh,
day,
the last one. The last one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway. But in general, is there something the universe is trying to tell Kevin, and if so, what is it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Great question.
Aim higher, I think, is probably fair.
Give up.
Here's where I being sentimental is, there's always something for you if you look hard enough. And you need to get lucky. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean you just have to be lucky. I actually find one of the things that's quite extraordinary. I look at my parents who met randomly at a swimming pool and then were married for the next 45 years until my father passed away. And I was thinking, how lucky is that? There's nothing that you can plan in life for that to happen. I mean, they literally met up random at the swimming pool. They weren't on a date. They weren't in a place where you normally think you were going to meet someone. And I just think Kevin is trying to make his luck. And I think there is much to be applauded for him for trying to do that. And as you can tell from the dates, he is not going to let one bad date, two bad dates, three bad dates. And obviously, we've only told 4 of them there. Obviously, there were many, many others in his past as well. And it doesn't affect him. And that's what I love so much about the character. I mean, it affects him in the sense that he has troughs, but it doesn't stop him. And that's one thing. I think that's what it says to me is keep going, keep going.
I agree.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because you could also, to springboard off this a little bit. I mean, we know you said, make the comment about, getting lucky. Well, Kevin seems to be looking for more than sex. Like he's not just looking for a hookup.
That's correct.
What is Kevin looking for in your minds?
So in my mind, Kevin's looking for love. He's looking for that kind of validation the love can kind of bring to him, that he's making the right choices in life, that this is the person that he's meant to be with. But he's just looking in the wrong places. I mean, not to give it away, the ending, but it's there in front of him. He just doesn't know how to recognize the signs.
I just think he wants his ride or die. Do you know what I mean? He wants his person. That's what he's looking for. And I think that's why it's so frustrating when he's putting himself in these situations with people that maybe don't have the same intentions as him, which I know many, many, many people are going to relate to. I think we've all been there, like, you know, dating people and it's just different intentions with you and stuff. Sometimes it is like that, especially in the gay dating scene. I think it's difficult. It's tough. It's not easy.
It always baffles me why people don't communicate what their intentions are. There is nothing wrong from just wanting to have sex. There's nothing wrong with it.
I wholeheartedly agree. If you just want to have sex, just say that. Okay.
Just say that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
No one's going to judge you for it, and maybe the person you say that to is on the same wavelength, and maybe they're not, and that's okay. It's the intentional lack of communication, which I think also this episode again, it's all heightened. Clearly, it's all stylized for comedy purposes, but I think you're onto something. There is that underlying current of the current dating scene for gay men, and I think a lot of gay men can look at those dates and pick things from him that are familiar things that happen to them.
Absolutely.
You know, I love that, because you're absolutely right. Kevin is clearly looking for something, but nobody is being straight about what they're looking for from Kevin. I had not thought of it from that way before, but you're absolutely right. It's not about the outcome, like you said. This is, if some people just want a hookup, that's fine. But instead, what this is that you've got somebody who wants a hookup but isn't making that clear, and then you've got Kevin who is looking for more.
Yes.
I think that's fair. And I think one of my kind of things that I have issues with in some things that you see is issues that arise from either complete mistakes, which are so obvious that could be sorted by people just communicating, or people just missing that kind of opportunity. And that's one of the things I really didn't want to happen with this episode. I didn't want the situations to occur from characters just making non-stop mistakes. So I think whatever Kevin does in these situations, they're not mistakes in his mind. They are true to his character. And so I hope that comes across.
Yeah, I feel like for Kevin, every one of them is a step forward. They're unfortunate events, but he is looking for that. Like you said, that ride or die, Jake. I like that you put it that way. You know, this connection that is missing. That is missing from him. Honestly, I mean, this show's so funny. I have to admit, I don't know, how do we tell people to see it? How, like, where is it going to be available? Because this is episode 1. There are 7 more.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of background. Actually, this is episode 4 that you've seen.
Okay.
So there's 3 that precede it and 4 that follow it. And the Kevin series of unfortunate events is the name of the episode. The series is actually called Patterns, and Asad will explain what Patterns is, and it's I will say this is something we're actually quite proud of, because we think it to be quite fresh and unique actually as a concept of a series. And I should say it's all shot, so we're not looking for a commission here. Everything is already shot and in the can. Asad.
Yeah, Patterns is a comedy anthology series, so every episode is a self-contained story. However, the worlds are linked. So one character that is a minor character in one might be the lead in another. So, for example, Kevin appears in 2 more episodes, not as a lead character, but as kind of a side piece.
He's the lead
in one.
In episode 8.
In episode 8. Okay, fine, I'll give you that, Jake.
refer to me as a side piece ever again. I'm not a side piece.
I'm gonna be sued. I get that. So basically, they're all self-contained stories. They're all different types of comedies, and they're all telling different subjects. The thing that links them all together is this concept of universal camp. So it's the idea of that we've taken these elements that are Monty Python, for example, pulls on camp humor all the time. British shows in comedy in general, Ab Fab, very camp. The stories are pulled from there. So, for example, for one episode, we have the idea of two old women in the 70s who decide they've had enough of their friend, so they need to murder her. So that's not exactly. It's a very camp concept.
That's a broad tonal shift from this.
Exactly.
That's the episode immediately after this one. That's episode 5.
Exactly. So as a writer, I love this kind of concept as well because it's quite freeing because the only constraints are what's realistic for this character to do, what's pushing, is a character pushing narrative and the narrative's not pushing them. But other than that constraint, you can literally write anything. And it's a great chance to kind of showcase what you can kind of do. I mean, for example, episode 8 is a musical. So we have Jake, for example, singing in it.
Yes, and by the way, it's the musical based on the death of a character.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So again, we are Asad is a pretty sick individual, so we're never too far from that darkness that you were talking about at the beginning of this. We're never too far from that. We actually think that comedy lies very close to that line, and Asad does such a good job at keeping that line above the comedy threshold, so we're always in comedy territory, and we're never in the sort of the true horror or the true tragedy of it. But yeah, so as far as where you are going to see it, we don't know yet. We hopefully very soon at Tribeca, or very soon after Tribeca, we will be able. We expect to land on a major streamer. Let's put it that way. And as soon as we know which, then we will be able to let people know where to see us. But the notion of the anthology comedies really with the same characters, that's what we think is rather fresh and unique. And frankly, there hasn't been an anthology comedy series in a very, very, very long time. Most of the anthologies, which are fabulous, like Black Mirror, or in the UK we have one that was called Inside Number 9. These are all sort of in the Twilight Zone vein of anthologies, which are fabulous, and the talent and the storytelling is fantastic. But none of them are comedies, not even dark comedies. In Black Mirror, every now and then there are black comedic episodes. I'm thinking of the one with Ron Howard's daughter. I can't remember the name of the episode, which is just a fabulous comedic dark comedy romp. It is just wonderful. But there are many of those, and so we thought that there was something we could do in that space.
Well, that's fascinating. Honestly, the way you described it, the only thing that comes close in my mind to thinking about this, and tonally would work. I don't know if you've ever seen Arrested Development.
Of course.
But this feels like a cousin to that type of show. And I mean that with the highest of praise.
And Asad loves the school.
I'm Lucille Bluth inside, so that.
Oh no! You two need to check on him. I mean, I think.
I too don't know the price of a banana.
There's always money in the banana stand, but honestly, it is just so funny, and I didn't realize that the show was pieced together like this. So that is fascinating. So for you, Jake. What is that journey like? Because here you've got Kevin's got his own, but I would never refer to you as a side piece.
Thank you.
But you are in limited roles in other episodes. So what's that like for you as a performer?
I mean, it's great because it's more days' work. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. No, it's great. It's always really nice to be and just experience Kevin popping up in all these other different scenarios, seeing him interact with all these other different characters. it's really fun, and it makes you learn a lot about your character, because when you're in a certain world, when you've just got these certain characters around you, and then you go into like a different episode and you're the same character but you're interacting with all these new characters, you're like, oh, I'm learning some new things about Kevin, because I've not really seen him in this situation before. So it's just really nice to learn more about Kevin, really, just seeing him in all these different situations. And who knew Kevin could sing?
Yeah.
But he can.
What I also kind of like to do as well, I like shows that don't talk down to audiences. So when you see him, a few months might have passed, and we're not going to explain everything that's happened in those months. You'll get cues in the same way that you would from having a conversation with a friend after seeing them after a couple of months. But the show isn't going to talk down and say this has happened to him in this period. And I think Jake plays that really well, where you can kind of see actually there's been some growth. So you as a viewer are, I wonder what happened, and you fill in the blanks yourself.
Mm. Got an eyebrow piercing, septum piercing. No, I'm joking.
Just walk on with a cast on your arm and don't ever address it.
No explanation.
I wonder what happened to
that. You'll never know.
Honestly,
I was going to say we only have one character who appears in every episode, but he never says anything.
Oh, it's just a loose thread. It's just a loose thread. Interesting.
So okay. I appear. You can hardly see me in Kevin Series Unfortunate Events, but I'm there. I'm at the restaurant. I'm one of the guests eating at the restaurant.
Are you in every episode?
Every episode.
It's him.
Yes. But I never say a word. And most of the time, with a couple of small exceptions, not only my background, I'm heavy background.
Heavy background.
Very heavy background.
So, Rex, if we talk again, we'll have to talk about the psychology of your character.
Yeah.
Living through other people's stories. All these things are happening. You're just,
I think that's, you've nailed it. The psychology is the observer, is the voyeur, if you like.
Honestly, thank you all. The show is great. It is so much fun. It has got so much heat to it, and it's just very, very funny. I really appreciate the chance to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for your time.
Honestly,
thank you for having us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks. Bye-bye.